Good afternoon, everybody. I am back. You're like, oh God, it's that guy that rambles on about his life. No, I'm just kidding. Anyway, so just having my emergency, guys, because it's flu season and you got to protect yourself from all those coughing people. Anyway. All right. Anyway, just a public service announcement. That's all I got. Anyway, no, guys. So I just also want to let you know we did do two Halloween videos last week. One video with me on it and our friend Josh talking about Halloween Ends and our thoughts on it, which we did obviously have some differing views on it, which is fair because that's all good. Differing views are okay for the most part, unless you're just a total asshole. Then I'm going to deal with you. Anyway, why would I want to deal with that guy? No, but that's fine. Anywho, and we also did a Halloween, me and Josh did a Halloween ranking video because Anna hasn't watched every single Halloween because she's not a glutton for punishment like me and Josh are. Like I said, I watched 8 seasons of fucking Arrow and I watched Dawson's Creek when it was on. So, all seasons as well. So, let's just say I'm a glutton for punishment. So anyway, it got me thinking though after doing that because we had so much fun doing it. I want to do more like, not just horror, but movie things like we've done before. But I want to do some more unique, interesting things. And maybe Josh will join me on a few of these at some point. But this is just something I'm doing today because, put some content on the thing. Anna will be uploading those a little bit. She had to, because we did it through Zoom, so we have to wait for it to go to her email, and then she has to do the uploading and stuff. So those should be up sometime today. I don't know exactly what time they'll be up, but they'll be up. They will be up. And sorry for the delay on that. Like I said, sometimes it takes a couple of days to get that in. But anywho, enough about me. So yeah, we're going to take a little pause from the Adam's Love Life and whatever else crap I'm talking about in there. Oh, it's write your novel, Adam. No one wants to hear this shit on YouTube. Anyway. Just self-deprecating is what I do. Anyway, that said, back to Halloween. Because it's Halloween season, guys. It's Halloween. Almost Halloween. Monday's Halloween, but we're having our party tomorrow. For this channel, I just wanted to let you know that we're going to try to do some more different things on here besides just me talking about my life and stuff. Although I'd like to share my life with you. I share it with you. Anyway, I had this really cool mask. I used it for our sketch show. It's kind of a cool mask. Yeah. It's not what I'm going for as Halloween. I'm actually going as Beetlejuice for Halloween. I have that costume too. That's going to be awesome. Anna's going to be Lydia, so that'll be fun. We're doing kind of because last year me and my friend Josh did the Cobra Kai thing for Halloween. And we had a costume together. So, and then after I did that, I'm like, oh, I probably should have gotten one for Anna so she could be part of it. Oh, well, so this year we're making sure to do the Beetlejuice Lydia thing. Next year we're going to do the Munsters because, everybody does the Addams Family. You got to do the Munsters. So that'll be cool. I got to shave anyway, but I'll do that tomorrow. Anyway, enough about. Well, this has been an exciting video, hasn't it, guys? All right. Anyway, back to Halloween, as I was saying. So one thing that was interesting that David Gordon Green did with the trilogy was that he picked it up from the first movie and then got to 2018. So we're just ignoring all the other sequels. And I thought that's kind of an interesting idea, but what if we took that idea and ponied off of some of the other sequels? Now some people are like, oh, we'll go right off of the 4, 5, 6. I'm like, oh, no. I think the more challenging thing would be to try to pitch a follow-up to each sequel and how you would make that work. So that's what I'm going to try to piece together. So I'll do this pretty much with everything except the first one because, we just pretty much saw that done. Not that other people can do it in other ways, but I think, we kind of just had a whole trilogy with that. So I'm not going to try to do what's already been done, right? I will do that with the second one. I'll do something with the Season of the Witch at some point too. But today I'm going to do it with Halloween 4. As you see in our ranking videos, me and Josh both actually liked Halloween 4 a decent amount. It's not perfect, but it's pretty good as far as doing a follow-up to Halloween 1 and 2. It's a decent pickup without having Laurie Strode in there and stuff like that. But you still have Loomis, and Daniel Harris is really good, and Ellie Cornell is really good. So, there's something there. Now, if you remember, for those of you who haven't seen Halloween 4, spoiler alert here, it only came out in 1988. I hope you'd seen it by now. In the end, or whatever, they think that Michael's dead, and they kill him. and then Danielle Harris's character, Jamie, ends up stabbing her stepmother, having a clown mask on, just like Michael Myers. So basically, the evil is transferred with Loomis going, no, no. So then they ended it, and then if you see Halloween 5, they just pick up and they just treat it like a nonchalant thing. She's mute now, and she just has a connection to Michael Myers, but she's not killing anybody else. The stepmom's fine, not dead at all. And I'm just like, man, you could have actually, I'm not saying I wanted to see a little girl be the killer, because that would be kind of silly. But because I've seen movies like that where the kid's a killer. Like there's some movie called Mikey or something like that with Brian Bonzo. It's fucking terrible. Because at the end of the day, it's like, come on, guys, it's a little fucking kid. Yeah, okay, if he gets a weapon, he might be a threat, but it's still a little kid. If you outweigh him and you should be able to just knock him down or something, and knock the weapon out of his hand and wrestle. I mean, he's just a little kid. It's freaking Andy from Family Ties, for God's sakes. So yeah, I wouldn't want little Danielle Harris at that age going around, killing a bunch of people like she's Michael Myers. But I do think there would be something interesting to explore there. And 5 just kind of yeah, we're good. We'll just make her mute. And the whole temporary mute thing is an actual thing that can happen. I understand what they were kind of going for because, Michael Myers stopped talking and never spoke, except when Rob Zombie's howling. But I think there's something to explore there. So here's kind of my little pitch of what, if another studio wanted to do what, they did with this last trilogy and pick it up from a different studio. Here's kind of a pitch from me, a guy who's never going to get a job in Hollywood. But why not? I have a YouTube channel, and that's what I want to do. So, like it, don't like it, I don't really care. I do care, but I don't. What I'm thinking is, like I said, we end on that big cliffhanger there. I think what we should kind of do would be kind of a little bit of flashback sequences, still have her as a kid somewhat, but also have her kind of trying to wrestle with the darkness that's kind of transferred to her or whatever. Because the main thing I don't want to do, spoilers here, with Halloween Ends, where you kind of have somebody else being the killer the most of the movie, and then Michael Myers just pops up as a cameo. Michael Myers will still be very much in the movie, because Michael Myers is kind of the part of the whole thing. So I did, trying to get rid of him would just be stupid. Just as you wouldn't get rid of Freddy Krueger and Jason, they kind of tried to do that, and that didn't really work either. But so I think you got to kind of keep, the thing here, but also fill with I feel like Loomis, is already at the point where he's kind of losing it a bit himself. So he may not be the best doctor. Plus, I don't think he'd be practicing that much at that point. He's just kind of, you never notice that he's not going back to his office, and working with other patients. He's just chasing Michael Myers, really. And helping his family. So it's not like you see Dr. Loomis just well, guys, got to get back to those office hours now. Let me help those other patients that need help. So it's it's weird. In the 6th one, he says very much retired, but and it's well, was he still working during that entire time that he's in Haddonfield? Was he just well, it's been fun chasing Michael Myers. Got to get back to the office and do a therapy session real quick. Explore that, guys. That's what I think. Anyway, so I don't know if Loomis would be the doctor that would be working with her. But I also think you can also explore, because in the 5th movie, it was just what's Ellie Cornell's? Rachel, her stepsister. She just come visit her, oh, it's cool you stabbed my mom and stuff. It's fine. We're cool. It wasn't your fault. But it's no, I'm not saying that she has to hate Jamie or that she has to have, major tension or I don't want anything to do with her. Because they've obviously grown. Their relationship has obviously grown through Halloween 4. So I think you can easily, but I think there should be some tension there. Because, I don't know which way I would go with if the mom actually died from the injuries or if she's just, traumatized, whatever the case. But I think you basically just need to follow the Jamie path line and have her interacting with Rachel, have her interacting with Dr. Loomis a little bit there. Like I said, you can go either way with Dr. Loomis. You could easily have, maybe he's retired, maybe he's just wants to get away from the whole thing. Because obviously, if you did this movie nowadays, you wouldn't have Donald Pleasence. So either you would have to recast Loomis, or you'd have to just not have Loomis in the movie and have somebody else taking on the case, essentially. Um, now, let's see, where was I? Oh, so there's that option there. So there's ways you can go about that, but maybe Loomis is involved, maybe he's not. I think Loomis was a big arcing thing for that movie, though, so it'd be good to have his character involved, but I think this should be a very Jamie-focused movie, and dealing with her, she's had these urges. Maybe she stabs a nurse or something like that. Maybe there's her stabs an orderly or whatever, but the whole time it's an inner struggle. It's not like Michael where she's just totally gone to evil and she's just the killer. Because I don't know, that can work, but I think that's more of like if you're passing the thing. And really, I think there's been a lot of stuff about the mask and all that. And I think people are forgetting a lot too. Because a lot of people say, oh, it's the mask, that's what's making him powerful, or it's the Silver Shamrock mask, which is a good idea, I think. But the thing to remember is, guys, the first killing he did, he wasn't wearing that mask. He was wearing a little clown mask. So that clown mask, maybe that's a Silver Shamrock thing or something. But if you want to go that route. I'm not going to go Silver Shamrock in this one. That'll be something for a future one. But I don't think that Silver Shamrock fits into this particular timeline it was going. But with this one, we just ignore 5 and 6 like they didn't happen. Which also avoids the Man in Black, which also avoids the fucking Thorn trilogy altogether. Because the Thorn shit was stupid, and we all know it. However, as a challenge, I will attempt to follow that storyline at some point in the future. Doing another video like this. So obviously my whole thing is, we did this today. I would definitely try to get Daniel Harris and Ellie Cornell back if they were available, and like the script and all that stuff. I would definitely get them back because they would have to be the focal point. And I would definitely really use Rachel as a big arcing point of trying to really get through to Jamie. The sisterly connection. Because horror has always been very, female survivors. It's always been how it's been. The slasher is usually some evil man. Not to be like that, but you know what I'm saying. And that's just how horror always has been, especially the slasher genre. So I think having them be the center 2 points, kind of like they were in the fourth movie, is a very important thing. Give them a lot of good dialogue to work with too, but still have a lot of the slasher fun. But yeah, I think maybe you can play off a little bit like they did in the trilogy of maybe when she does stab someone or something like that, it kind of helps them awaken. And I think maybe as she gets a few, maybe after she gets not necessarily kills, but a few attacks at least, whether you want to go with kills for her or not, that's an optional thing there. But after that, that helps Michael kind of regain his evil, his power. And then from there you can kind of set up future movies and how they're going to stop them and stuff like that. And then, I think maybe at a certain point, Michael just comes back, he starts killing people again, and then, you find a way to stop him and stuff like that. And then, Jamie has to find the good in herself to defeat the bad, similar to Laurie Strode, but I think that's what you kind of need. And it's how they messed 5 up. It was you had something here, and then you could have explored it. And that's the thing I think you could easily do with Jamie, what they were trying to do in the Rob Zombie Halloween, which was showing that time with Dr. Loomis, showing that time where Dr. Loomis is legitimately trying to get through to this kid, trying to reach this kid, to get into why he did what he did, to try to reach him, and where he's trying to be his friend, or he's trying to reach him, and maybe do that same thing, but with Jamie, focus the flashback scenes if you want to go with adult Daniel Harris, because we want to get as much Daniel Harris in there as possible, and stuff like that, but really focus on the, do these flashbacks. Let's see some of those things. Let's see a doctor trying to see why you do this, Jamie. Because trying to reach that evil, and understand that at the end of the day, much like the original, guys, there's no Thorn, there's no cult, there's no I was bullied by someone as a kid, or redneck family. It's just, at least in this particular brand, it is just evil like the original thing. If this is following the original timeline as it was, 1, 2, 4 into this movie, then there you go. That you still find that evil. Now, how do we stop that evil? That's a whole other thing. How you want to kill him? I think you really do have to focus on the mask. That's the one thing that I think in Halloween Ends, spoiler again, destroying the mask. Because I do think the mask is a conduit somewhat. Doesn't have to necessarily be Silver Shamrock, but like there's something in that mask that gives that kind of supernatural power to it. Now it doesn't mean the mask was possessed, it doesn't mean it was a cult thing, but just something in that mask. Like that's, I think, is what you ultimately have to do. Because when you kill the mask, then he's just a man. And I think that's kind of what we have to get to. Because when he's the mask, he becomes the boogeyman. He's faceless, he's emotionless, there's nothing there. So I think that's the thing. So that's kind of my idea for like how you would follow up Halloween 4. Now you could just do it in one movie, Michael gets killed, or you could set it up for, 2 more movies and then end it at that. You could go 4, 5, 6 if you wanted to go that route. Now as far as what would happen with the rest of the movies, like I said, it would basically just be, I don't have a whole pitch for 3 movies, but this would be more of like what we would do with a follow-up to Halloween 4. Like I said, explore the evil, explore the tension of like trying not to be a bad person, trying to overcome this evil power that's taken over and stuff like that. And you kind of find that struggle. I think it'd be a fun thing for Danielle Harris as an actress to play, and Ellie Cornell would probably be the one to try to reach her. And like I said, Loomis is, give or take. Like, Donald Pleasance was amazing, so it's like it's hard for me to want to try to recast Loomis because Loomis is really good. Although I have to say, if John Carpenter was involved, I would get Kurt Russell to play Loomis because that would just be awesome. But I don't know. Maybe we get John Carpenter to do the music, like he wants to direct, because he didn't have as much involvement in Halloween 4. He kind of stepped away at that point, and he never wanted to make a sequel that badly. So John Carpenter loves his music. Hope he makes another movie someday, though. That would be awesome. But yeah, so that's kind of my. It's not an overly long video, guys. It's not an overly long pitch, but that would be what I would do with Halloween 4 follow up, ignoring 5, 6, and anything that comes after it, including H2O. And that would be what I would do with it. Like I said, you get Danielle Harris and Ellie Cornell back if both are available. Obviously, you want to have them back. Danielle Harris would be the most important part of it. And Ellie Cornell would definitely be important because they would definitely be the 2 leads. And then you would have Michael Myers slowly coming out of his, state of, trance or whatever it was. Much like he did a little bit in Halloween 5, but a little better done than what they did there. So my next challenge will be trying to follow up Halloween 5 and what they left us with, which is what happened with Halloween 6. I won't do that today, but what I will do is just kind of wrap this up, guys. So, yeah, obviously I'll probably still continue these after Halloween is over. I can do this with other movies too, or other sequels, but I think there is an interesting idea of like, picking it up where like, oh, that kind of went off rails, or this went wrong, or also having the challenge of like, well, that was a complete disaster. What can I do to fix this? Or what can I do to still honor what they're doing? And I think that's a challenge for any filmmaker or writer who's coming into a project that's already had, these things. And like I said, it's probably not going to be everybody's cup of tea. That's just how it is. That's how it is with TV shows, books, movies, everything. So, cool, guys. Hope you like this. Kept it short, only about 20 minutes or less than 20 minutes. Like I said, maybe I'll do another one tomorrow if I have time. If I don't, oh well. But yeah, Halloween 5 will be a much bigger challenge. Let's just say that much. But Halloween 4, like I said, there was a good starting point there. There was a good cliffhanger there. It was just the follow-up that kind of got off the rails. And that's what happens when you don't have the same filmmaker or the same writers doing the same thing. It kind of derails everything. Cool. So I will definitely, like I said, I want to continue to follow up the other Halloween sequels and try to see what I can make of them and see what kind of pitches I can come up with. So that's just a rough pitch. Let me know what you think. Comment down below. Subscribe. And look for those Halloween ranking and Halloween Ends videos. Anna will have those up. Have a good day, guys.